Welcome everyone to a How to Play Kill Team episode.
Today we're going to be doing a special video where we go for a full play-by-play of an entire Kill Team game, explaining how to play Kill Team all along the way. So Pete, what are we bringing for today's tutorial?
So today I'm actually bringing in one of the first Kill Team that's been released, the Kommando Kill Team.
Ooh, Orc's very popular pick right now.
Very popular pick right now. For my leader, I have the Kommando knob. He has 2 equipment options. I'm using the Slugger and the Power Claw, so I can bring in 9 Kommando operative. I will have the Boy, the Slasher, the Breacher, the Sniper, the Daka, the Comms, the Burner, the Rocket, and the Bomb Squigs. And since the balanced data slate, if I select a Bomb Squig, I can also select the Kommando Garrots operative for free, which means I will have a total of 11 operative, including my leader.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So the balanced data slate is a balancing patch basically for this game. We'll link it down in the description below, and you can check if your Kill Team has any nerfs or buffs that they got.
So for my equipment, I have the Dynamite on my comms, and I have 3 Shoppas, and they're gonna be on my Daka Boy, my Burner Boy, and my Rocket Boy, which adds up to a total of 10 equipment points. And the Kommando Boys have a special ability called Throat Slitter, which means they can charge and conceal, and we'll touch up on charging and the actual orders later on in the video. And for my Tac Op, I have a choice between these 2 archetypes, Seek and Destroy and Infiltration. I chose Seek and Destroy, and I am picking Rout, Rob and Ransack, and Headhunter. That was pretty long, but Riggon, what are you bringing in for today's tutorial?
All right, so I'm rocking the Legionnaires, the Space Marines of Chaos. My list, I've got a choice between 2 leaders, my Legionary Chosen or my Aspiring Champion. I'm going with the Aspiring Champion. He has a special ability that when he gets a kill, he gets to do a free action, which is really nice and Into the Dark. It lets you do really big power plays. He has some options to choose from, but the Plasma Pistol and Power Weapon are always very solid choices, so I'll be going with them. So for my other 5 Legionnaires, I'm going to be starting with the Gunner. He's rocking the Plasma Gun, which is a very solid weapon every time. I got the Heavy Gunner, who's taking the Heavy Bolter. I have an Anointed, a Balefire Acolyte, and a Shrive Talon. Going into my equipment, I've got a couple of things on my Shrive Talon. I have a Grizzly Mark. This means if you're within 3 inches of my model, you get -1 to your attacks, or when you're rolling your dice, you roll 1 less dice. In addition, he's equipped with a Crack Grenade, so I can throw that and ignore cover using its indirect special rule. Aside from that, I've got some really awesome melee weapons, my Malefic Blades, and I've put them on my Heavy Gunner and Gunner respectively. And then last but not least, my whole team has a special ability called Mark of Chaos that I choose during my roster selection. Basically, I choose one of my 4 gods, technically 5 if you count Undivided as a religion or a faction. But we're going with Nurgle down the line. So that grants all of my models a special ability where every time they make a defense saving throw, they retain a normal save as a critical save. In addition to that, it unlocks certain god-specific strategic ploys and tactical ploys for me to use later in the game. And then lastly, going into my Tac Ops, I have the choice between Security or Seek and Destroy. I too went with Seek and Destroy. So I chose Eliminate Guards, Rob and Ransack, and Headhunter. All right, so we're gonna be sending it to the match play sequence, which is basically a checklist for everything you need to do to start playing a game.
All right, let's get going.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a pickup game in a game store or going to a tournament, then you can look no further than the match play sequence. This is a series of steps that both players complete together in order to get ready for their game and see it to its completion.
And today we're going to be playing on map 9 Lock, and the mission is loot. The operative can perform a loot action as long as it is in control of the objective marker and the objective has not been looted at this turning point. Each time a friendly operative perform a loot action, you score 1 VP.
So we're going to be rolling for attacker and defender. 2-player will roll a dice, and whoever wins gets to decide. Defender gets to do everything first. I get to set up my unit first, and I got to set my barricade first. But attacker win ties in scouting, which we'll get there. Okay, rolling for attacker and defender. 6.
6 and 6.
Ooh, what is going on?
So we're gonna roll again.
So since it's tied, we roll again. 6 again.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
what are these dice? Huh? The set's got some magic.
All right. So Pete, are you taking attacker or defender?
Fun fact, if you're playing Into the Dark, you always take attacker because defender has to do everything first. He has to deploy first, which means I can counter deploy him, and he has to set up his barricade first, which, I mean, doesn't matter that much.
All right, so we are in the setup barricades phase, and I am defender, so I will be going first. In this phase, each of us sets up 2 barricades, alternating back and forth, starting with the defender.
In the KILLZONE GALLOWDARK match play, there are 2 types of terrains you need to know about. First is the wall. All part of this terrain feature have the heavy trait, which means this terrain provides cover and is obscuring. Sub-wall includes hatchway. Hatchway terrains can be closed or open. Note that the hatchway access point does not provide cover, nor is it obscuring. Then we have the barricade. The barricade is considered a light terrain, which means it only provides cover. And the barricade is also traversable, which means if you want to traverse over the barricade, it's going to cost you 2 inches of your movement.
During this, I'm going to be referencing the Critical Operations 2022 Close Quarters document, and this lays down some new rules for setting the barricades.
And this rule is free. You can just, it's provided by GW.
Yep,
we'll give you the mission map as well.
Yep. Everything linked in the description below. So, first rule is your barricade needs to be placed within your territory. So that means on your half of the board. It could be placed on the center line because it just needs to be placed within, not wholly within. So you could still have a little part hanging out if you wanted to. The other rules are it must be placed more than 2 inches away from any door, and it must be placed more than 2 inches away from any other barricade. But looking at this map, I see a lot of open rooms, and I really want to give myself some cover on my objectives. So I'm going to place my first barricade right here.
I am also going to do that, but I will keep in mind that I am going to put it 3 inches exactly away
from your spawn.
From my spawn.
So you can take a dash action there.
And hide there.
For my other barricade, I'll be placing it here on this objective.
And since I am just so original, I'm going to just do exactly the same. Maybe scoot a little bit back because I don't want to get charged by you. So as much distance that I can get from you is good, and I still want cover, so that's why he's there.
Very good. All right, that's the place barricade phase.
All right, so we are now going to be deploying our operative.
So we need to separate our kill team into 3 different groups, as numerically even as possible. I'm the defender, so I'm forced to deploy one of my groups first. I'm going to take my Shrive Talon, and I'm going to place him right here. And what I have in mind is he's going to move to this objective right here. So I'm already pre-measuring that movement.
Yeah, so he can actually move, open the door, and get the objective.
Next, I'm going to be placing my heavy gunner right here. And once again, I'm just measuring so he can move to this point right here. In Kill Team, your models each have either 1 or 2 tokens at every time. Either an engage order, which means your gun is up and shooting, or a conceal order, which means you're back and hiding cover. During the deployment, it's very important that we give our models their orders, and this is going to be their order for their entire first turning point. In subsequent turning points, when you activate or move your model, you can change it at that moment. But for now, turning point 1 is pretty stagnant with your orders. So I'm feeling like I want to be hiding behind some cover. So I'm going to be giving my Shrive Talon a conceal order, and I'm
crouching in the open.
Going to be giving my heavy gunner a conceal order.
So I'm going to be deploying my Rocket Boy behind this corner, and he is pretty safe. So you know what? He's gonna have his gun up and he will be engaged.
Always nice to have a threat.
Yeah, because if everything is in conceal, guys, you probably can't shoot, so your opponent can, feel free to do whatever you want.
And converse of that is if everything is engaged, you're just not gonna have any safe models and your opponent is gonna shoot you to shreds.
My Sniper Boy, he's gonna be in conceal, and then Bomb Squig is gonna be next to him. So Bomb Squig has a special rule where he can't be in conceal. And then we got our Flamer right here. And he will actually be in conceal.
Very nice. So at this point, your units are locked in. And they're not supposed to move for the rest of the deployment phase.
Correct.
But it goes back to me. I'm gonna be putting my Anointed right next to my Shrive Talon buddy. And I'm gonna be giving him a conceal order. And then I'm going to be following up my Plasma Gunner. He's a pretty serious threat with his gun, so I'm definitely giving him an engage order.
Okay, a lot of people on this side.
So I'm definitely making this side my strong.
Okay.
There's a strong and a weak. That's just basically where most of your forces are.
All right, well, my turn. I'm going to deploy my Slasher Boy right next to my Bomb Squig. He is going to be in conceal. I'm going to deploy my regular boy, also in conceal. And then I'm going to place my Daka Boy next to my Rocket Boy, and he will also be engaged because it's going to be very hard for you to shoot me from there.
Absolutely.
And your go again.
I'm going to be placing both my Leader and my Balefire up here in the action. They both have engage orders. There's no cover over here, so I don't think there's any point in giving them a conceal order.
All right, I'm going to put my Grot on the door, but the Grot can only be in conceal. I'm going to place my leader next to my rocket boy with conceal. No point in being engaged. I am going to place my comm within 6 inches of my leader. He will be engaged, threatening to dynamite you.
Oh yeah.
Breacher boy is going to be right next to the pillar. He will be in conceal.
Right next to his amigos. Very cool.
That was it for deployment, and now we are going into scouting.
This is a bit of a rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to go first.
Yep.
With each rock, paper, and scissors, you get a little bit of bonus.
Mhm.
So there's 3 options. Option 1 is fortify. This lets you place another barricade.
An additional barricade.
An additional barricade,
Yep.
so you get a total of 3. Option 2 is infiltrate. This lets you change one of your orders. So remember how I said in the turning point 1, all of your orders are locked? This lets
Not
you,
with this.
upon activation,
yes.
lets you change one of your orders, just like you would in any subsequent turning points, 2, 3, or 4.
And the most popular one that everybody uses in
And
the dark,
Recon,
which is a free dash.
Simply just take a dash action with one of your models right now.
And it actually, you get the quote unquote fly keyword, so you can actually move through your friends with this dash.
Or over barricades.
Or
Yep.
over barricades.
And so it's just simply 1, 2, 3. So fortify beats infiltrate, infiltrate beats recon, and back to it, recon defeats fortify. If you happen to tie in this phase, back when we selected attacker and defender, attacker always wins.
So if you don't have the cards, you can use dice. So instead of the face of the dice, just do the number of the dice. 3 for recon, 2 for infiltrate, and 1 for fortify. Hide it on your back, show it at the same time. There you go.
Yep, so if I choose recon, I have 3 physical dice in my hand.
Yep. What do you got?
All right, you take recon. I actually switched it up today.
Whoa, fortify.
I'm taking fortify.
Interesting.
I was looking at my setup and I was like, I don't really think I'm going to get value out of my other choices.
Yeah.
So I think a little bit of cover it. We are going to measure out the halfway line and place our barricade just in to give us a little bit of cover. And we are still maintaining that 2 inches away from this door here.
I'm going to dash forward with my comms, with my recon, and to be within 6 inches of my leader.
So 3 beats 1, which means you get to decide who goes first.
Yeah, in most cases, you want to let your opponent goes first, because when you roll for initiative, if you go first, then I win ties. But there are some teams that loves to go first. Boys are not playing them right now. But yeah, so you will get to go first. Congratulations.
With everything set up, we head into the battle structure, which dictates how every turning point goes. In order to play a game of Kill Team, there's going to be 4 turning points, and in each of these turning points, it starts with the initiative phase. During the first initiative phase, your initiative has already been decided through the scouting phase, so that player gets to go first that turn. However, in subsequent turning points, you roll a d6, and on ties, the player who didn't get to go first in the previous turn gets to go first or decide initiative in the next turn.
So we are now going to turning point 1, and usually there will be an initiative phase, but since initiative is already decided and you get it, so now we will go into strategy phase.
In the strategy phase, use strategic poise, and we alternate back and forth using them until both players pass.
Yes.
Strategic poise are usually, and I do say usually, turn-long advantages that you deploy for your team.
Yeah, kind of like a buff.
Yeah, and they cost command points. So in the critical ops pack, the number of command points we got actually increased to 3. So we start the game with 3, but on turn 1, which we're in, we do get 1 more. So
we'll be at 4.
All intents and purposes, you basically start the game with 4. There are some teams where this matters, but most of the teams, you just start with 4 points. Because I'm playing Legionary, my leader actually has a special ability called Favor of the Dark Gods, which actually lets me use one of my strategic poise for free, so long as it's affiliated with one of my gods. So I'm going to be using Mutagenic Flesh. What this does is it reduces the number of damage that I take from normal attacks by 1. So it makes me nice and tanky. There is a limit now. It goes down to a minimum of 3.
I will pass. Nothing much for me to do here.
Nope.
Gotta save my points.
And I will pass 2, thus ending the phase.
Now that we're done with our strategic poise, we will now go into our tag ops.
The select tag ops step. These are side missions that you get to play along next to the primary mission in order to get the best of your opponent and score those additional points. Methods have changed since if you're taking a look at the core rulebook and have actually gotten updated in the Critical Ops 2022 packet. The first step of this is to select an archetype valid for your kill team. If you look at the top of your roster, you'll see an archetype and several options that you can take, sometimes only one, such as security, infiltrate, or recon. Simply select one of those, and that's going to be the only archetype that you can select for your kill team TAC op cards. After selecting your archetype, you're going to be selecting 3 cards from those 6-card archetype deck. Previously, you were supposed to do a shuffle technique, but now you're simply just doing a pick 3. This is great for balance and really makes the game a lot better. But if I was playing Seek and Destroy, I would probably pick Headhunter, Rob and Ransack, and Eliminate Guards, and I would be all ready. You do, however, have the option to replace one of those cards with a Faction Tack-Up card. If you're playing a team that is outside of the compendium, you probably have these. So if I was playing Orc Commandos, I might consider using the Get Stuck In Faction Tack-Up 3 card. You'll have Faction Tack-Up 1, 2, 3 kind of blank cards in your deck, and these are meant to be interchanged with the other cards so that you can hide them from your opponent and reveal it. And when you reveal Faction Tack-Up 3, your opponent will know, oh, that is Orc Faction Tack-Up number 3, Get Stuck In.
Yep, so in this phase, we alternate back and forth, revealing one card at a time.
Yep.
However, I have no cards to reveal.
Nothing to reveal?
So I am going to pass.
You know, I'm actually going to reveal something. So I'm going to reveal a route, and pretty much if my model is within 6 inches of your opponent and I happen to kill you, I will score 1 victory point. Now, it's going to back to you.
It's back to me. I could be sneaky and reveal a card at this point,
Oh.
but I'm not playing that game, but I'm going to pass again.
Okay, I will pass as well.
That brings us to the firefight phase.
Firefight, and you're going first, so you get to move.
Yeah, so I have the pleasure of making all the hard decisions.
The player who has the initiative activate first. When the player activates one of their ready operative, they must determine whether it has the engage or the concealed order. But if it's the first turning point, the operative will have the order that was given to it when it was set up before the battle. When activated, the operative then generates a number of action point equals to its APL, which is the action point limit. On the screens are action that operative can perform once activated.
I'm going to be activating my Anointed, and he has 3 APL, so I get to perform 3 unique actions. And so, first thing first is I'm going to actually decide to not use his Unleash the Demon ability.
You want him to be able to open doors.
Which he gets to open doors still and still perform mission actions.
Okay.
So, he is going to move 6 inches forward and a little bit off to the side there. We're going to take a little pivot. You can pivot every 1 inch of movement. That is going to plop him right over here.
And you can actually open doors and continue your movement.
Yep.
And also, when the door is open, you don't have to go through the actual door itself. It's this whole wall that you can move through.
You get to be 1 inch within that doorway. So effectively, yes, that little side part of the wall
Yes.
up until the column.
Correct.
Yeah. With that, he is going to land on the point and capture it for our team.
Ooh, fun.
Scoring us the first victory point of the game and taking an
Oh.
early lead.
So I'm going to activate my Breacher Boy. He's going to use his movement. He will stop while he's within 1 inch of the door because that's what you need to do in order to open the door.
Yeah.
And he will open the door, and like you, I can actually continue my movement, and he is going to move behind the barricade for safety because he isn't concealed.
Very good. Seeing the game state, I think I'm going to get real exciting with it. We're going to take our heavy gunner. He is going to move over to this point here and cap it for our team. And then I'm going to pass for his last action.
I am now going to activate my Sniper. Sniper is going to go ahead and use his move. And I got to catch up 1 point, so I will loot this as well.
My lead is fleeting.
No.
We are going to take our leader. He is going to perform a move and dash action, during which he is going to get within 1 inch of this door, open it, and then he is going to lean off to the side, so he's going to be safe.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my leader, and he's going to use the Get It Done ability, and we will give an APL to my comms. But then I'm going to use the rest of my boss movement. He's actually going to move dash and reposition right here.
Very good. I think we're going to move our Balefire. He is just going to take a dash action to land on the point, cap it for us, and then I see that bomb squig, and I don't want anything nasty happening, so we're actually going to put him kind of out and over here.
I'm going to activate my Squig. Squig is going to go ahead and move up to this wall and pass.
So we're going to move our Shrive down, and he is just going to get up and snugly against this door here, and end his turn.
My comms is going to go ahead and capture the point, and with his 3 APL, he will move dash and give an APL to my bomb squig.
I want to move my Plasma Person, so he is simply going to take a move dash and land just about over there so that we're safe from that play.
Ooh.
And that, because he can, he's going on guard. That's all my movement, and I am presented with an opportunity for Overwatch. That means any of my models with the engage order have a chance to take a shot should a valid target come into their view. Unfortunately, at this point, you haven't given me the good graces of any, so I will sit tight until further notice.
All right, I'm gonna activate my boy. He is gonna go ahead and use his move and open the door, landing on the point.
Fortunately, even though my Psyker has psychic weapons, those are not equipped, and thusly they cannot be used for Overwatch.
So I'm gonna activate my Flamer, and Flamer is gonna go ahead and move dash to this door.
Ooh.
I'm gonna activate my Darker Boy. He's gonna go ahead and move to this door. I'm gonna activate my Rocket Boy. He's gonna go ahead and move to this. My Garrote is gonna choose a point that is visible to him. That's gonna be the pillar. He's going to fly all the way over there,
With his grappling hook.
and he will capture an objective. So I'm gonna activate my Slasher Boy. He is gonna go ahead and use his move and dash to land on the point as well. And scoring, we're gonna be scoring. I score 1, score 2, score 3,
I scored the same.
and we don't score any tac ops. So that means we are going to turning point 2.
That's right. That was the first turning point, and we're going to the section we call recap, where it's just a little bit of a what the heck just happened in that last turn, our thoughts and mind processes of
Yep,
going into the next turning point and the strategies we're looking for.
pretty much. And in this channel, we play really aggressive. So going into this, I saw that I won the deployment, which means you get to deploy first because I get to decide.
Yep.
And that means I can counter placement you, which means I get to pick where my strong side is and my weak side is. And that's exactly what I did.
I put my melee specialists down, and you put your guns in front of them. I put my guns on this side, and you put your melee specialists in
I
front
put
of
my
them.
bomb squig, okay? He is
And explosives.
explosive. Big explosive. So this is actually where ability comes in, because the orcs have an ability where I can get a free movement between rounds.
Yep, your strategic play. Shh.
Yep, which makes it so I can actually reposition. And this is actually one of the best bandage ability. Like if you miss position, you're like, well, I'm gonna dash, fix everything. Because I was able to move my guys, so I actually can be blast by your guys and also inch them a little bit closer, so I can actually make the charge to your Balefire and also be within the point to steal it if I win.
Yep. Yeah, it's such a brutal ability. I love using that ability on turning point 2 as opposed to 1.
Yes.
It's really tempted to use on turning point 1, but you only do it once per game.
Yeah. Luckily, this map plays into my favor a little bit because there's 2 doors, so you can't just, run up, open the door, and toss in that AoE scary ability.
Yep, my fireball with splash and blast,
Yep.
which stack multiplicatively.
Because if that was the case, I would have to put all of my barricades where my deployment is to make sure I cannot be AoE'd.
As for me this turn, it was just a slow advance up, making sure I get all my points. I did want to separate my models for your bomb squigs, so you don't blast me away.
And I did set him up. I gave him an extra APL, so he could move and dash, and then he can detonate himself.
Yep. Despite my hesitance, I still think I'm in a compromised position where your measure, you can still strike me.
At this point, you really need to win initiative, or else bad things are gonna happen.
Yep.
Well, anyways, let's send it to turning point 2. So we are going into turning point 2, and we are going to be rolling for initiative. So now we actually roll off, and winners get to decide who actually goes first.
And if we happen to tie, I went first last time, so
I would win ties.
you win the tie and
Yes.
get to decide. So here we go.
Big one,
number.
2.
Oh my god.
That's why. That's why you're never attacker, guys. That's why you're always attacker.
Yup.
Okay, so I'm obviously going first.
I think so.
Yeah, I kind of have to. So let's go into the strategy phase. Since I am going first, I get to use my ability first. So I'm going to use the ability Shh, and that ability allows me to, if I am out of line of sight or I am concealed and 6 inches away from the model, I can use a free dash. So we are going to be doing our dashes. All right, so that was all my dashes. And it's actually going to be your go.
All right. Well, because my leader's still alive, once again, I'm going to be using my poise for free, my first one. So I'm going to be using mutagenic flesh.
Okay.
So basically -1 to normal damage.
Oh, nice. So I'm going to use Wa, and what that does is when I make 2 normal hits, I can change one of those normal hit into a critical.
Very nice.
And that's only in combat. So, but I'm going to recharge this turn. So
Very orcish of you.
Okay, so it's going to be your go.
All right, sweet. I'm going to be using my other Nurgle strategic ploy, Implacable. This does a plethora of things. First, it makes it so my Overwatches cannot be worsened. It makes it so I cannot be injured. And then lastly, it makes it so my APL cannot be modified.
I'm going to pass now. I don't want to use any more.
Okay, I will pass as well.
So now we're going into attack ops, and I have nothing to reveal, so it's all you.
Cool. I'm actually going to reveal Eliminate Guards.
No!
So any of your models that are on a point, I get to choose one of them.
It's a lot of models.
There's a lot of choices. And if I kill that model this turn, then I'm going to get a victory point. For my guard, I'm actually going to be choosing your little itty bitty grot baby. Do you have any other tech ops to reveal?
I'm going to pass.
And I will pass as well.
So that actually concludes the tac op. So now we will go into firefight, or can really call it Throat Slitter, and I can charge while in conceal.
In Kill Team, when an enemy operative performs a charge action, that operative moves its movement characteristic +2 inch and must end within 1 inch of an enemy operative. An operative cannot perform this action if it has the concealed order unless said so otherwise, or if it's within an engagement range of an enemy operative.
So we are going to charge with our regular boy to your Bellfire, and I'm going to charge it in a way while I am still on the point. And instead of fighting you, I'm actually just going to steal it.
Oof.
It is mine.
And you can do that. There's nothing that says you can't capture the objective while engaged.
Yep.
And I made the big mistake of not placing my model on the point last turn.
True.
It was so close. I could have done it. To start things out, my leader is going to go and charge your weakest operative.
No!
I'm going to fight your grot in melee.
And finally, we'll enter the roll attack dice step. This step is a bit different than shooting because fighting, instead of just being a I shoot you, you get shot interaction, is actually a back and forth brawl. So in the roll attack dice step, both players are going to be rolling their dice at the same exact time. This means that if one player wants to consider using a command point reroll, they could actually see all the dice that their opponent roll first and decide whether or not it's worth it. Next, we'll look at the stats of the weapon. So if I'm looking at the Aspiring Champion's power weapon, it has 5 attacks and they're hitting on 2s, and its damage is 4 or 6. So anything that's a 2-up is a hit, anything that's a 6 is a critical, but actually in this case, it has the lethal 5 special rule. So anything that is a 5-up is a critical. And of course, anything that is a 1 is a miss. If you want to gang up in melee and use 2 operatives to take down a single operative, you can do that in Kill Team. You'll be using the Combat Support Special Rule. In order to use this special rule, the operative providing combat support, or the one who is not fighting, must be engaged with the enemy operative, and no other enemy operatives. So that way you have a proper 2-on-1 fight. For each and every operative providing combat support, you can improve your weapon skill by 1. Note, however, that if you roll a 1, no matter how many +1 weapon skills you have, you still miss.
I have a power weapon, so I'm 5 dice hitting on 2s.
Okay. Since you are an attacker, you will get to resolve your combat dice first, and I have 5 wounds, and you actually do 5 damage.
Yep.
So nothing I can do?
And the grot is not a valid target for your just a scratch.
And it's not a good idea to scratch with it, so just gonna die gracefully.
All right. Because I got a kill, a couple of things trigger.
Ooh.
1, I got my Eliminate Guard.
Okay.
So I scored my first tac op. And
Excellent.
2, my leader has the ability in the Eyes of the Dark Gods. That allows him to perform 1 free action if he gets a kill. So in case my shooting attack goes horribly, horribly wrong, I'm going to choose to loot the point first. And then lastly, I'll be shooting his plasma pistol at your Orky boy over there.
When you're ready to blast something off the battlefield, the shoot action is the first thing that comes to mind. First things first is you need to select a valid ranged weapon from that operative. So if we take the Legionary Heavy Gunner, for example, we can use his Heavy Bolter. The next thing we need to do is select a valid target. First, we need to find an operative that is within our line of sight. Now, line of sight doesn't just mean, can I see this target, but it actually is a specific term that says, can I shoot this target? The first thing we do is check if they have an order. So if they have an engage order, 2 conditions need to be met. 1, the target must be visible. Visible meaning, can the head of my model see any part of my opponent's model, even if it's just a dangly weapon? And 2, if that model is not obscured. Obscurement is probably the hardest rule in all of Kill Team, so please be patient as we explain it for a minute. But there are 2 types of cover. There is heavy cover, which is like really big buildings, such as the large items from the Octarius set, or there's light cover, such as the small barricades or the smaller walls in the Octarius set. To check if a model is obscured, we're first going to draw cover lines. or like 2 magic lines originating from one part of the shooter's base to every part of the opponent's base. So generally this looks like from one little dot on the shooter side, and we draw a cone to the 2 furthermost edges of your opponent's base. If one of these cover lines crosses a terrain feature with the heavy trait, we check and see how far away the enemy operative is from that terrain feature where the cover lines cross. If the answer to that is more than 2 inches, that target is obscured. So in short, basically, if you're trying to shoot through a big heavy building or the walls of the Into the Dark set, and those lines cross it and then land on the opponent, who is more than 2 inches away, he's obscured. This basically represents the idea of it's really hard to shoot something through like a window or like really far off in the distance through a peep shot in the wall when the operatives are running around. Do note that they are within 2 inches, they are no longer obscured. If those 2 conditions are met, then you're valid to shoot the target. The next thing we check is if it has a conceal order. We still check if it's visible, we still check if it's not obscured, but next we need to check if the operative is in cover. To check if an enemy operative is in cover, we first see if there are any terrain features within 1 inch of that operative's base. If there is, then we want to check our cover lines and see if our cover lines that we draw cross over that terrain feature. If they do, then that means that operative is in cover. However, if we've walked around and achieved a flank, and those cover lines don't cross over the terrain feature, we have a free shot and we can shoot the enemy operative without them being in cover. There's one other exception, that if you're within 1 inch of the cover, you don't need to draw any cover lines over it. That's basically you've got your gun over it. Or alternatively, if you're within 2 inches of an enemy model, they are unable to be within cover. That effectively means that you're so close that you can just hold your gun over their barricade and shoot over it and they don't stand a chance. It is worth noting though that you still need to be more than 1 inch away, because if you're in engagement range, you simply cannot perform the shoot action. Speaking of engagement ranges, if your enemy operative is engaged with one of your friendly operatives, they are also an invalid target for shooting. The roleplay behind this is they're going back and forth exchanging blows, and it's really hard to draw a bead on your opponent. Only the truest marksmen of teams are able to get the clean shot through, or the teams that don't care about their friends and will shoot both with reckless disregard.
Are you going to overcharge?
I think we are.
So explain overcharging with a plasma pistol for me.
So, my plasma pistol has 2 profiles, standard and overcharged.
Okay.
If I choose to overcharge it, I get 2 benefits. One is I get the AP2 special rule, as opposed to AP1.
And the other benefit is you roll 1, you take 3
Yeah.
mortal wounds, right?
So AP2, when you roll your defense dice, you only get 2 less dice. So you're only down to 1 singular defense dice.
Yes, and I have 3 defense dice, so that's why I will be round to 1.
Yep.
Let's hope this doesn't
Do
go
horribly well.
Well, there's a 1. Another 1.
Oh my god.
Hey!
Today's a wonderful time to use command point reroll.
Okay.
So we're going to be rerolling one of these dice.
Each
Each die can only be rerolled once. So here comes my first die. Because I really want to guarantee that kill.
Okay.
I am going to command point reroll
One
this
more
last
time.
one. Oh, there's a 2. Fortunately, I hit on 2.
Yeah, and I cannot save this.
And so that's a frag.
That is correct. I'm dead. You know, let's just do some bomb squig action. So bomb squig is actually going to be activating. He is already engaged, and we are going to go ahead and Sharja and Kablooey. Bomb squig is going to be exploding, but he doesn't have the blast keyword, so I will not get the blast special roll and Into the Dark. I will use 4 dice, and it's AP1, so you are 1 less safe, but if I get a crit, that will turn it into P2, which means you get 2 less safe.
Yep.
So 4 dice hitting on 3s.
Let's see it.
Ooh.
All right.
I'm going to spend a CP to reroll. Might as well.
Very good.
Putting me down to 2. Well, you know what? We got all 3s.
So I only get 2 saves.
saves.
My armor is on a 3 up. And we save 2 of them. And your normal damage is 5.
Yep.
However, I am using mutagenic flesh, so that's going to knock it down to 4 each. So I will be taking a total of 8 damage. We are going to take our Shrive Talon. He is going to move, dash, and land next to that door. We are staying within 1 inch of it, but we're also being very off to the side to make it pretty hard to shoot us.
Ooh.
And then just for funsies, we are going to go on guard.
So I'm going to activate my leader, and he is going to give an extra APL to my dynamite. And then my leader is going to go ahead and charge and fight your leader. It is on 3, so listen to your dice. Come on.
There it is.
I just got a crit anyway, so I missed 2, so it didn't even matter. So we're just going to resolve our crit, killing off your leader.
He is Deaderoni.
And upon death, and I will reveal Headhunter. Headhunter reads, if I kill your leader, I get 1 point, and if I do it before turn 2 ends, I get another. So I will get max point on Headhunter.
We are moving our plasma gunner up and next to this door. we are taking a shot on your comms boy.
Yep, so this is a very important one. Are you going hot?
Gotta go hot.
Throw hot.
No whammies. That's pretty
You
good.
missed one.
We did miss one.
Yes,
So,
so
we
you
are going
have
to
to.
command point reroll this bad boy. And there's a hit.
That's gonna be a guaranteed kill. So you killed my comms. So I'm gonna activate my Daka Boy, and he has an ability called Unload Slug, where he actually, if he's shooting you within 6 inch, I can reroll all my misses. 5 dice hitting on 4s.
There's some 4s.
There's some 4s and some 5s, and I get to reroll the 2.
Yep.
And a
There's
6.
the crit.
Oh, okay. So we got a crit and 3 hits
We are going to retain a die as normal
because you are in cover.
because we're in cover. See a crit there, so we are also going to use our Nurgle ability, which lets us turn a normal save into a critical save. So basically, we're retaining a critical save. Our other 2 are saving on 3s, and we make them. Only 3 damage is going to come
3 damage. That is correct. I am gonna then use my free dash because he is a Daka Boy.
You did use Daka Dash.
Daka Dash. And he will be on the point, and he will loot the point.
Our Anointed is going to loot the point. He is going to take a move action and land right next to his buddy.
Okay, I'm going to use my sniper, and he is going to use the ability The Best Spot,
The best spot.
which means I can shoot while I'm in conceal. So it is going to be 6 dice hitting on 3.
Mortal Wounds 2. There's 1,
2, 3
oh,
crits.
3. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, that's 6 mortal wounds.
Are going to retain from cover, and we're going to roll our other 2. The Nurgle ability to retain it as a crit doesn't matter because mortal wounds can't be prevented. So that's 3 saves. Well, I still felt good about myself.
You tried. He hasn't failed a save yet.
All right, so we are going to activate our Balefire, and he is going to get ready to melee your operative there.
And this one is very important.
Yeah.
Because you need to kill him.
Yep. So I have a special melee weapon. It has demonic energies to it, which is effectively mortal wounds too. So any crits I roll right now, they're just basically going to do 2 mortal wound damage before anything else happens.
Scary.
5 dice hitting on 3s. Let's see it. Oh no.
Oh.
That's bad. Well, we've gotten 1 hit.
I hit on 3s.
Yes.
But with my ability, 2 hits can turn a normal hit into a crit.
Yep, that's not good. So that really bites.
Yeah, that super
but
blows.
I think we need to parry you.
Okay, and I will do 11
And you're just going to
damage.
slam 11. These are worth 3 each because of -1.
Yep, because
And
of
5
-1.
on the crit, that's 11 damage. So things are looking pretty dangerous for me.
Yep.
So I'm going to spend 2 AP to use a fallback action and just land over here.
Yeah, so my Breacher Boy is going to go ahead and loot the point, and he will pass.
We are going to activate our Heavy Gunner. He is going to switch to an engage order. He is going to pop the objective for 1. He is going to move over to this door, being still on the point with just the tippy tip of his base. And he is going to open that door.
So I'm going to activate my Rocket Boy. Rocket Boy is actually going to move dash to the door. Now that I finish my activation, you have nothing else to activate, so now you can do an Overwatch.
Yep, because you have 1 model left.
Yep.
I got 2 choices to fire an Overwatch, but I am going to be
Probably
firing
with the better
the
gun.
heavy gun instead of
heavy
the
gun.
pistol.
Okay.
So that is 5 dice hitting on 3 still because of my implacable.
True.
I don't suffer the penalty.
Okay. So let's see
Hitting
it.
on 3s. Here we go.
But you did get a crit.
We got a crit, so that's actually decent. So I think we are going to use command point
last
reroll.
point reroll.
Yeah.
3 up.
Going on a 3 up. Here we go. Hey,
Ooh,
there's
that
the
is a crit. So I only have 2 saves because you are P1.
Yep.
So on 5s, because orcs.
Not a lot of arm. Hey.
Ooh, we got a crit save. I'm actually just gonna use 1 more CP to just a scratch to survive that with 2 health. So I'm gonna activate my flamer. He's gonna go ahead and switch to engage, and we will move. We won't have enough to get onto the point, but we will flame you. It is 5 dice hitting on 2s, and it is Torrent, so it is lethal 5. It's a good thing it hits on 2s, but
Hits on
that's gonna
2s.
be 2 crits and 3 hits.
Saving for my 3 up saves. Here we go. And we do get to turn that into a crit save just for funsies.
Just for funsies. and-
Looks like 6 damage is getting through.
Okay, so we are now going into scoring, and I will be scoring 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Ditto. So we are both
yeah.
at 6 on the primary.
6 on the primary.
You are leading on the secondary by 1 point.
Yeah, I am, but you know, unlimited guard is probably going to work this game. That's the feeling I have. What do you think?
I concur. It's a good play.
So we are going into turning point 3.
Yeah.
So that was turning point 2, and boy, you really need to win that initiative. It was so important.
Yeah, in too casual fashion.
In too casual fashion, I play extremely aggressive, and if I win turning point 2, I will go even more aggressive.
Yeah.
So since I won that turning point, I was able to use my Shush ability, and I was able to get a little bit more movement, which makes it so I'm actually able to charge your Bellfire and steal your point, which means you're forced to activate your leader.
I made a silly mistake. I was just a millimeter away from the point. I should have been on the point. It's just a lesson in life. Stay on the point.
Stay on the point. And to explain it to you folks that are new, the reason why it's very important is because I'm able to steal Riggon's point. Now he's forced to activate somebody to steal back a point, so we're even on primary, because if he doesn't activate his leader there, I can just loot the point in this room, which means it will be a 2-point deficit, which is, it's not good in this mission because it's loot, because everything is finite. Every primary, you can only loot it 3 times. Yep. So you came in, but you did a lot of damage.
Yeah, I was able to charge in, kill the Grot, score, eliminate guards.
Light work, obviously,
and
with
then
your
just
leader.
Boom, plasma that slasher boy. And then on top of that, with my free action, I was able to capture the point back.
Yep.
So I love the Legionary aspiring champion.
He's such a good trade.
He can just make power plays.
He can lift 2 models easily, and he can still get his point. He can probably just open a door too if he really feels like it. Like, this guy does it all.
Yeah.
But that means now that you activated your model, now it's back to my turn, and since I'm setting the tempo, now I just capture the point near my deployment, because you can actually steal this.
I was wanting to.
You were really close, but you were forced to activate your leader, so I stole it from myself, so you can't steal it from me.
Yeah, and then I was just like, okay, at this point, I just got to capture my points.
Yep.
You set up your dynamite.
At that point, you know, I went in with the bomb squig, do my little chip damage, and then now I know that your plasma, if you move up to try to kill my dynamite, he's probably dead anyway, so I'm not in a hurry. But I ran out of things to do, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna activate my leader, give an APL to my dynamite guy, which means now you actually need to come in and kill him, because then if you don't do it, he's gonna open the door and he's gonna chuck the dynamite at you.
Yep. Yeah. So at that point, I just walked up and took that kill, because I'm getting a little bit more. I'm not only killing your commsman, I'm killing the commsman with the dynamite with an extra APL.
Yep. And the reason why I actually need to give my commsman an extra APL, even though the common can open the door for free, the dynamite itself is actually unwieldy, which means it actually costs 2 APL to use. So, with the extra APL, I'm able to move within range, because you position smartly where I get a free dash. It doesn't really matter because you position yourself to be 6 inches away from the door, so I can't reach you.
Yeah, knowing you were going to shush to the door itself.
Yeah, you saw that I gave the extra APL to my comms, and I was not expecting my comms to live. I almost forgot. This is tragedy. Okay, you tried to melee my orc.
I tried to melee your orc.
Yeah.
It went horrible. I got 1 hit and I got punched through the roof.
You got very unlucky.
Orcs are amazing at melee. They're just a scratch, makes them basically indomitable.
Yeah. And then in this matchup, like it's not even a wrong choice to melee, because Heath is playing Nurgles, which means he reduces my normal damage by 1, which means it's not 3 attack to kill you anymore. It's like 4, and I only have 4 dice. So chances are you're never gonna die. And even with this extreme whiff, you're still able to survive.
Yeah. Still, in hindsight, I probably would have done a disengage order and shot my really strong fireball.
Because I save on 5s.
Yeah, so, and it's a lethal 5 splash, so I'm dealing mortal wounds.
Yeah, very deadly. But he has a cool sword. He has a fun little sword that if you get a crit, you can do some mortal wounds. Yep. Unfortunately, the dice were just not agreeing with you.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
It happens sometimes. And I did get lucky with my sniper as well. I think I rolled like 3 crits. All that did was it just saves me 2 activation. You send your guy to kill my guy. And that was, it was a death sentence. There was like so many orcs over there. Yep. But now I'm free to do other things. So, going into turning point 3, you're actually in a position to double shoot me.
Yeah, I've got my bolter discipline ready to go if I can score it.
Yep, and this is actually one of the bigger guns. You know, it's your heavy gun.
Heavy bolter.
Heavy bolter, and you really need to win this initiative, or else it's going to be really rough for you. So let's go into turning point 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so very important initiative for you to win here.
Turning point 3.
Turning point
this one
3
is a big one.
4.
Hey!
So
I win ties.
you do win ties. So you are going first. So we're gonna head into strategy phase. So what do you got for me?
Yep. Unfortunately, our leader is dead, so we're not getting those free strategic deploys anymore.
Mhm.
Kind of wishing I took the icon bearer this game, but you live and you learn. So what we are going to do is we are going to pack it up with bolter discipline.
Bolter
Our
discipline.
bolter weapons get to shoot twice.
Twice.
I.e. my bolt pistols or my heavy bolter.
So I am actually going to pass.
I will
You
pass as well.
Okay.
And that leads us to
Tac
tac
ops.
ops.
Anything to reveal?
I have a guard to eliminate.
Oh,
Mr. Boy here is my guard.
that's a safe call. I have nothing to reveal.
I am all revealed out, so let's go to firefight phase. You gotta see this coming. Our heavy bolter is sending rounds downrange to your boy.
That is the correct play. So
Let's hope this works.
let's see it.
Hitting on threes.
Hit on 3s.
There's a crit. There's all right.
That is dead.
that's
That is 100% dead. He is gone.
All right, and that
And-
scores us our second tac op.
Now this is the important one.
Now we're gonna loot the point first.
Just to be safe. Just to be
Score us
safe.
that victory point in case our gun malfunctions.
Okay.
And then we are shooting rounds at your flamer.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm hitting on threes. Oh, actually,
Well, actually,
that's
it's pretty
okay.
good. That's pretty
That's
good.
one miss. That's fair.
Okay, so I just gotta make one to live. I don't. Oh, you know what? I think it is worth to spend a CP.
On a
Come
5-up.
on. Nope.
Not today. All right.
So you did lift my mono.
That's a double lift.
So I'm gonna activate my breacher. Breacher is gonna go ahead and loot the point
Yep.
and get out of dodge.
There's nothing else worth getting over there. Understood. We are going to be activating our balefire.
Run!
Yeah. He needs to get out of dodge.
That is the correct play, looting the
So
point.
he's going to loot the points. He is injured, and I did not use implacable. So he's going to move 4 inches out this way and another 3 inches to land himself
I
right
like
smack over here.
So I am going to go ahead and activate my rocket boy. He is going to use his move. And we'll do it so we're safe-ish. And we will go ahead and shoot you.
Very cool.
But I move so I don't get my free reroll.
Sure don't.
5 dice, hitting on 4s. I could whiff. I mean, 4s are fickle.
Hey. Oh, okay.
Okay. Spoke too soon. It is
That's pretty
AP1.
good. AP1. So I'm only going to hit 2 dice.
2 dice.
Saving on 3s. Here we go. 1, 2. So that's 3 damage that gets through.
So it is your turn.
All right. Well, we need to make play happen. So we're going to activate our anointed.
Uh-huh.
He is going to.
Is he going demon mode?
He is going to unleash the demon,
Ooh.
and then he's going to move his 7 inches and plop himself right over here.
Okay.
Several things happen here at this point.
Uh-huh.
He can no longer perform shoot or mission actions.
Uh-huh.
However, he gets a lot of buffs. He gets ceaseless, which is reroll 1s in melee.
Uh-huh.
He gets lethal 5, so if I roll a 5, I get a crit.
Mhm.
He gets to fight twice,
Ooh.
and he gets a 5-up, feel no
He
pain.
does a
So
lot of things.
any damage that he takes on a 5-up, I just ignore that damage.
I'm going to activate my Daka boy. He has the ability Daka dash, so I get a free dash, and I'm going to move dash, so I am within 6 inch of your deployment, and within 6 inch of you, so I can reroll. And we are going to go ahead and try to not kill you, actually, because I want to be within 6 inch of your deployment for my route, but then that means I'm more likely to kill you because now I can reroll my miss.
Yes.
And the reason why I don't want to kill him is because next turn, if he doesn't die, I can charge him and get route and Robin Ransack.
Well, you could just not shoot me.
No, I'm gonna do that.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, hitting on 4s with 5 dice.
Okay,
well, you know,
yeah.
reroll misses.
Yeah,
Okay.
because this isn't too many hits coming through, I can't make my armor saves, so I am dead.
It's not the best case scenario, but I will score my route.
We are going to activate our Shrive Talon. He is going to loot the point, and after all this buildup, getting ready to jump on your point, he is simply going to move, dash, and run around this objective a little bit, and land right next to his friend.
All right. I'm gonna activate my sniper. He's going to loot the point, and we will use our movement to be within the hatchway. And no Overwatch. So I'm going to activate my leader. We are going to go ahead and give ourselves an extra APL so we can
get it
loot
done.
the point. Yep, and we will use our move dash to get within charge range for the next turn. I'll be scoring 1, scoring 2, scoring 3, and I'll be scoring route, getting me 4 points.
I scored 3 on my primaries as well, and 1 on my secondaries. So yeah, there are no more points on the field.
No
It just
more
comes down to
points.
tac ops.
All right, let's send it to 20.4.
Here we go.
So that was 20.3. You did it. You won the initiative.
I got
and
the
you killed
initiative.
2 models.
Got my double kill, looted the objective. We both managed to loot all of our objectives,
Yep.
so we're tied 9 points each. So it's just going to come down to secondaries at this point.
Secondary at this point, and I pick route, and I'm pretty in your territory.
You're routing
Yeah,
me.
I am routing you. So I pretty much am just running in as much as I can, and I gotta make sure because you did back up your scary guys. I mean, at this point, we know we took Robin Ransack. Yeah, like I mean, I'm so far out there, and you're bringing it back because you need to kill something. So by kind of counterplaying that a little bit is I put another orc in there because Robin Ransack reads that they have to be 3 inches away from their friendly operative, which means you have to kill one and then kill the other one to score Robin Ransack.
Yeah, against
So
your
I'm just-
flamer and your Daka boy there
I'm
in the
just
middle.
making it a little bit harder. They do have Choppa, so they're not terrible in melee at all.
Yeah, they're not.
We can get some shit, but you are bringing
Yeah.
your powerhouse.
But I am set
Yeah.
up with my Anointed who's going beast mode, and he
Yep.
is ready to kill those
He has
orcs.
fight twice. He has the shrug ability. This guy means business.
Yeah.
Okay, he is scary, but you actually really need to win this initiative again.
Yeah, winning initiative on this could be game breaking because I'm pretty sure you have Robin Ransack. I need to do something to keep my Balefire out of your leader's melee range.
This is
for-
a 3-point swing. This is route, which is 1 because I got 1 route last turn, and then Robin Ransack, which is probably gonna be 2 because he's 13 wounds and I have just scratch.
Yeah,
Um,
but let's see
very
how that
close. Yeah, let's see how that.
let's see how this
goes.
initiative goes. Sometimes it comes down to a single dice roll.
All right, let's send it to turning point 4. Okay, going into turning point 4, and this is actually the most important. I keep
The
saying
most
this
important-
for every
We've
single.
only come in escalation because it's come closer and closer to the end.
All right, I do win ties, so
Yes.
maybe
Let's
a
see
1
it.
here. A 4.
Damn it!
What is with the rule? We tie every single turn.
We tied, no, literally,
Yeah.
we tied first turn too.
To no one's surprise, I am going first.
Yep.
Yep, and we are going to the strategic phase, and I'm not going to spend anything.
I'm going to save it for command point reroll.
Okay, so it's going to be 2 to 1, and tag ops. Anything?
Got all my guards picked out, so I've got nothing to reveal.
Let's go ahead and go into firefight.
Firefight pace.
So I'm going to switch my leader to engage.
Just for
and-
fun, you
Just for
don't need to.
funsies, and I'm going to go ahead and charge your Bellfire.
Very good. All right.
All right.
Let's,
4 dice.
let's see those 4 ones.
4
because
dice on
that's what we
threes.
need.
Yeah.
I would have had a really fun play I could have made. My Balefire actually has a fireball I can cast, which is basically an explosion spell. I was going to charge your leader and explode us both. That's killing myself and denying you what
me.
you're about to reveal.
You know it. I know it. I will reveal Robin Ransack. But actually, before that, you actually get to roll your dice to see if you do some mortal wounds to me.
Oh yeah, let's see if that happens. Any crits? No crits.
Nope, no crits. So you will now be dead. I will score my route, and I will score 1 point from Robin Ransack, putting me 5 on my attack ops. And if he lives at the end of this turn, I will also get another.
That you will.
But I'll guard because there's nothing else for me to do.
I have to go all in on this gambit.
They
and
both
go
have
for
choppas, so
the double kill.
come at me.
So I can score my Robin Ransack. So I'm going to throw in my Unleashed Demon. He is going to engage both of your models, and we now get to experience combat support. I'm going to be rolling my dice. I'm hitting on 3s, 5 dice with Ceaseless, which is reroll 1s.
Okay.
So we do
Looking
get that.
good.
Looking pretty hot. So we
Nice.
have the Lethal 5 special rule. So
2
these 2 are
crits.
crits, and we also have the
Ooh.
Rending special rule,
Oh,
which lets us
3
turn
crits.
a normal hit into a crit.
Okay.
So we're looking okay.
Looking okay.
This is a
looking
good
okay.
start.
All right. So I am then going to attack you, but instead of hitting on 3s, I hit on 2s because of combat support.
Yep, both models are engaged with mine, so they help each other out in combat. Your weapon skill improves by 1.
This means I will roll the ones, right?
You got him.
No ones, but we got him.
We are going to send our first crit through, dealing 5 damage.
So I will strike you for 4 damage.
Yep.
Now have to feel no pain.
Yep. So I'm going to use these red dice. Looking for a 5-up. That's pretty good.
Ooh, 2 5-ups.
So we are still at 10 moon. We are going to strike you with a crit.
Okay, and that will kill me.
Here comes our gambit. We need to get the second kill in for our attack ops.
I believe. I am hitting on 3s now, so it's actually more likely to.
Yeah. 5 dice hitting on 3s. Let's see it. We do get to reroll those 1s. We're looking pretty good.
Ooh, 2 crits, 3 hits.
There's 3 crits and rending. We actually get a 4th crit in there.
That's a lot of crits.
Yeah, looking pretty serious.
So I'm hitting on 3s.
What are you doing?
Whoa! What is going on?
All right, so I've got a secret strategy up my sleeve, and I'm wearing short sleeves.
Oh.
So you better believe it. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to parry your crit.
Oh no! And then I'll parry your crit.
And then I'm going to parry your crit.
And then I'll parry your regular.
And I'm going to parry you out, dealing no damage. This is where my trap card comes in. I'm going to use my strategic ploy, Veteran of the Longboard.
He's gonna fight
in
again!
a shooting or melee attack in which no damage has been done. Re-roll that attack.
Oh.
So,
okay, just spike again, and hopefully I don't spike.
Second
right?
chance.
Second chance.
That's pretty good.
Oh, we get the reroll 1.
Okay.
I will hit on 3s. Hopefully these dice are not too hot.
We are going to strike you with our crits.
I will just scratch it with my CP, and I will parry your crit.
Hit you for 5.
For 5, and I will parry, and I'll hit you for 4.
Yep.
So I'm injured. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna just disengage, pretty much to be outside of your charge range.
Yep. And because I can't shoot, I can't overwatch. We are going to move, dash, and land within 6 inches of you. Unfortunately, we're not close enough for a Grizzly Mark to proc, but it does activate your guard action.
Okay, so I have my gun. Hits on 5.
Yep.
3, 4.
Let's see you frag me now.
I'll be happy with 1.
Nope.
Again.
All right. We are going to throw our crack grenade at you.
Crack grenade.
4 dice hitting on 3s.
Ooh,
Hey.
that's pretty nice.
That's gnarly. AP1.
AP1,
Yep.
so save on 5s. I got 1 save?
You actually
Nice.
save on 4s.
Oh, I save on 4!
Yeah. So you're going to be taking 8 damage.
So I'm gonna activate my sniper. Sniper is gonna switch to engage, and I'm actually gonna have to move, so I am not shooting through my ally.
Yeah, because if you were from your current position, you're going to be shooting over your rocket boy who has an engage order. And because of Into the Dark rules, that's going to give you -1 to your attack dice. Thus, you only roll 5 dice.
I am hitting on 3s. 6 dice.
There's a couple hits.
A couple of hits. I have 1 more CP, might as well. I already used just a scratch, so on 3s. There we go. So you take 2 mortal wounds right away.
So rolling my mortal wounds.
Mortal wounds.
Don't save them.
Okay, and now rolling your save.
Rolling my saves.
There you go.
2 saves.
2 saves.
So we'll mitigate this, and we'll take 6 damage.
And with the 2, that would be a total of 8. So now you'll be rolling the 6 for the shark.
Just 1 to live.
Just 1.
You
got it.
We got just 1. With this, for the 1 point I can deny you, we're taking an Overwatch shot on your leader.
It is hitting on 4s?
It's hitting on 4s because I don't have Implacable.
Okay.
And my Shrive Talon's going to shoot your leader with his bolt pistol. Here we go. 2 hits.
If I miss everything, you will deny me 1 point. Saving on 4s. Got 1 save.
You leave it with Moon. All right.
Good
GG.
game. We're going to be scoring. I will get my Robin Ransack 2 points, and I will get my route. So I will max out on my secondary scoring.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to clutch it in with the Secret Robin Ransack. So I get nothing this turn.
Yes, and your last one was actually Headhunter.
It was.
And my Headhunter is, and my leader is very much alive.
If I would have killed your leader.
Yeah, but we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to send it to the recap table. We'll see you guys then. This is actually insane. I think this is actually the first time we tied on all of our initiative roll. And then we're just like, well, I guess we tied. So attacker, well, there you go.
What are the odds? It's 6 to the power of 4.
Another call out to let somebody do it.
Yeah, champs to the mathematicians in the chat.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunate.
got so sad because I had this most brilliant plan. You see, the fun thing about Blast is it doesn't discriminate. So what I was going to do was I was going to take my Balefire and not charge your leader, get within 2 inches of your leader, and cast Fireball at the...
And then hope you get that splash
Classic,
to kill yourself.
Classic D&D moment where you blow up everybody in range. I was only at 1 wound, so I was very likely going to die.
Lethal 5, it's very likely.
I could have killed your leader. And in a dream scenario, I would have scored 2 points. No, I would have scored 1 point for Headhunter. But more importantly, I would have denied you the possibility of getting Rob and Ransack and denying you 2 points.
And then just because of this play, you essentially lost out on 4 points. I got Route, I got Headhunter, and all you have is a grenade toss to try to kill a 13 wound model. It is AP1, which is a strong weapon, but the damage profile is just not enough to get you there.
Orc Boss is tough.
Yeah. With just a scratch, which means even if I take like 4 of your grenade, I see, like, if you don't crit, I actually have to take 4 to kill because I'm 13 wounds.
Yeah.
And I can just scratch on 1, so
yeah,
it's pretty rough. And you know, your guy, you know, we saw how scary he is.
He almost scored me Rob and Ransack.
Yeah,
he killed the first guy. And in 2, I got you down. We did the math for the first combat. I got you down to 1 wound with you max parrying me out.
Yes.
And so I took a chance with my Veteran of the Long War by just simply choosing all parries, because you can do that. You don't have to strike. You can choose to parry, which is a pro Legionary strat. I love it. And then you go to your second combat, or third in this technical case. And I rolled the dice again. Unfortunately, you walked away with yet another singular wound.
Oh yeah, we're just getting a little close there. But at that point, I got all 6 of my secondary.
Couldn't catch up.
Yeah, it was impossible to catch up. And anyways, guys, that was it. You know, the play-by-play. Hopefully, you guys found it helpful. I wish I had this when I started playing because I'm really bad with rules. So we finally got to actually doing it.
I've probably taught this game to like probably 50 people.
Yeah,
at
this
point.
guy just teaches people how to play games. He actually taught me how to play game, and then I dragged our guy Seth, which is also another crew member, to play, and then now we have channel.
Yep, now we have a channel.
Yeah, and if you want to see more battle reports, click here.